This is a book summary of a book called Never Enough, which really resonated with me because I've had a very difficult experience in high school where I was working all the time and had no life. And I'm so glad that somebody finally wrote a book that describes this experience of high-achieving students and not just low-achieving ones, because high-achieving students are often overlooked. And this is a very important topic. So I'm grateful somebody's addressing the issues of what's happening in schools when there's a lot of pressure to succeed. Many high-achieving high schoolers like Molly live with their eyes shut and stay up late to do a tremendous amount of schoolwork. And I know from my experience, I had to stay up till 4 a.m. many times to study for tests and complete essays. There is a new trend in society where there's something called professionalized childhoods, where every minute of a child's day is used to maximize their potential. Extracurricular activities, sports, and studies have become very competitive and led by adults. This hasn't always been the case in the past. This type of high-pressurized environment and schedule doesn't give kids time to decide what they actually want to pursue and really get to know themselves. Children in high-achieving schools are also considered to be at-risk youths. I was shocked when I first read about this, but now I'm not surprised. Looking back, it makes sense that being high-achieving is also risky. Students who live in poverty, with hunger or violence, are even more likely to have bad outcomes than privileged kids. Many more young people today face sadness and hopelessness than in the past. Toxic stress is harmful to adults and students. The author interviewed parents from nearly all backgrounds and walks of life for this book. After surveying and speaking with parents, the author realized that students believe their worth is based on their performance. Students felt they only mattered to adults and peers if they succeeded. And mattering is important because it improves mental well-being and is connected with all sorts of well-being in a body. Amanda was shocked and surprised after she got accepted into a top school after 6 years of hard work. Her parents really cared about achievement. Amanda's community expected people to be at their best and to make their work appear effortless. Amanda was depressed, though she didn't know if her self-worth fluctuated with her grades or a number on the scale. She felt like she had to be perfect most of the time, which meant she wasn't genuinely connected to anyone and was lonely. Amanda's parents thought spending time with friends was a waste of time for her, and I have to disagree with her parents. Later on, Amanda ended up with a DUI and started seeing a therapist. She felt like she had to be perfect all her life just to be loved. A study found that upper middle class suburban youth didn't fare well in life and had higher rates of drug use than even inner city kids, and girls had higher levels of depression. This was very surprising for me to read. The Robert Wood Johnson Foundation found that poverty, trauma, high pressure to succeed, and discrimination hurt teenage wellness. Students who are marginalized due to race, class, or ethnicity have an additional layer of stress. Surprisingly, extracurricular activities sometimes add to the stress rather than alleviate it, and stress often continues into college. Chronic stress can cause a range of health problems such as heart disease, and the body was never designed to be under chronic stress for the long run. Luther, who is a researcher, believes that this generation is the opposite of overprotected and lives in a kind of pressure cooker where things look good on the outside but are pressurized on the inside. Getting academically pushed can feel dehumanizing, and one student in Brooklyn said students have to adopt fake passions and personalities to be accepted by colleges. And I agree with this because I've seen a lot of students in high school take on extracurriculars that they don't really care about very much, or pretend that they care about something on their application and write that in just to stand out, but they don't really care about certain things that they write on their application. The psychologist Erik Erikson has said that teens need to get a personal identity. That's part of their formation at this stage of their life. 80% of parents agreed when they were surveyed that kids were under too much pressure to become successful. I also agree that students are under too much pressure to succeed these days, and I felt that my wants and needs weren't taken into consideration much in high school. It was always about what teachers wanted or colleges wanted. And that just doesn't leave room for students to really get to know themselves and grow spiritually. Thank you for watching. Part 2 is coming soon.